Slit lamp bimicroscopy is an acquired skill. This introduction will help you over the initial hurdles that all face when confronted with their first patient at the slit lamp. The purpose of this video is to acquaint you with all the features and uses of slit lamp bimicroscopy. With this information, you can begin concentrating on what you're seeing rather than thinking about the mechanics of the examination. As Yogi Berra says, you can see a lot just by observing. Slit lamp bimicroscopy has 4 advantages over loupe observations: better magnification, improved stereopsis, superior illumination, and excellent depth localization. The slit lamp produces a very bright and focused beam of light that can be varied from a hairline slit to an 8 mm wide beam or to a small spot beam of light. The light source is coupled by a common carriage to a binocular microscope observation system. Both light and magnifier are parfocal, that is, focused at the exact same place. Therefore, when the slit beam is seen in sharp focus, the object on which it is focused will be clearly seen through the oculars. Fine manipulations of the slit beam can then aid in evaluating an area of interest or abnormality, such as this corneal scar. The slit beam can pivot independently side to side through 180 degrees to permit viewing of any ocular structure from different angles, particularly helpful in depth localization. The basic slit lamp bimicroscopy exam procedure is as follows. 1. Adjust the headrest and height of the chin rest for the patient's maximum comfort and proper viewing level. The patient's eyes should be level with the black line on the headrest column. This indicates there will be equal vertical maneuvering room above and below this line. 2. Set the eyepieces at 0 or for your refractive error and adjust the interpupillary distance of the oculars. 3. Turn on the power to the slit lamp. 4. Release the fixing screw that locks the base or cross slide. 5. Grasp the base carriage or cross slide with both hands and move it so the slit beam is focused on the patient's temporal or lateral conjunctiva. This is done with the naked eye and not by looking through the oculars. Now look through the microscope and fine focus the slit beam by maneuvering the joystick. Note that the light beam can be elevated or lowered by twisting or rotating the joystick. To vary the dimensions of the light, the following controls must be adjusted. Slit beam length is manipulated by turning the upper control lever knob. The lever also controls slit beam orientation or rotation. Slit beam width is controlled by turning the lower control knobs. Beam intensity and color are controlled by the transformer output and upper filter lever. Increasing the voltage from the standard 5 to 7.5 volts will double the lamp brightness, but it also significantly shorten the life of the lamp. Almost all examinations can be easily and effectively carried out with a transformer output set at 5 volts. The filter lever provides 5 positions. 1 and 5 are open, that is, no filter. 2 is a heat absorption filter used with the lamp overloaded to 7.5 volts with a fully open slit beam. 3 is a 10% gray filter used with fundus and especially macular bimicroscopy. 4 is the red-free or green filter for enhanced contrast in viewing red objects. Note: the blue filter for tonometry is located by manipulating the upper control lever knob. In review, for most slit lamp exams you will use the power at 5 volts, no filters, 10x magnification, a narrow slit beam, and the slit illuminator swung from side to side at an angle of approximately 35 to 45 degrees from the microscope. It is the fine adjustments of the angle of the lamp arm and the joystick that reveal the subtle details. Slit lamp bimicroscopy is a dynamic exam. Now that you know how to focus the slit beam on the eye, you need to engage the cooperation of your patient. The patient must fixate or look at some convenient target to keep their eye steady. Your ear makes a good target. This is essential when you must study a particular structure in detail. Start your examination with low power magnification so you don't miss the forest for the trees. Higher magnification can be used when there is a particular area of interest requiring further study. The magnification can be increased two ways on the Haagstreit slit lamp. The easier way is by moving the objective lever on the microscope from the left to the right. This increases the magnification from 10 to 16x. The second and more cumbersome method of increasing the magnification requires exchanging the 10-power eyepieces for the 16-power ones, thereby increasing the magnification from 16x to 25x. A newer model Haagstreit has knobs on either side of the microscope body, coupled to 5 variable optical elements that produce 5 different magnifications. Remember, higher magnification usually only makes what you don't know bigger. Develop a systematic examination method so important areas of the external eye and anterior segment are not overlooked. Learn to use both hands for ease and comfort in manipulations around the eye. Start by examining the extraocular structures. Look at the lids and lashes. Have the patient look up and then down while you hold the eyelids with a Q-tip so that the bulbar conjunctiva, normally covered by the lids, can be adequately inspected. Learn to avert the upper and lower lids for access to the tarsoconjunctiva. Next, direct the light to the interpalpebral bulbar conjunctiva to evaluate this area. Begin your anterior segment examination by sweeping the narrow slit beam across the cornea while looking at its various layers and their reflections. The slit lamp is particularly well suited for studying the details of the cornea, anterior chamber, iris, and lens. Certain slit lamp manipulations make anterior segment examinations much more revealing and rewarding. Varying the angle and width of the slit beam are necessary to obtain the most from your examination. For example, the depth of a corneal lesion is best judged by using a fine hairline slit beam and a 35 to 45 degree angle between the illuminating beam and microscope. A broad light beam is more suited for determining the size and overall shape of surface abnormalities such as this iris nevus. A small, bright spot beam of light angled in front of the dark pupil will reveal cells and flare in the aqueous in cases of anterior uveitis. This is called the Tyndall phenomenon. Remember, varying the angle between the microscope and slit illumination will enhance your observations. A wide angle between the light and microscope will produce an easily viewed optical section of transparent structures and will also highlight the texture of the iris. A small angle or coaxial position of the light will promote examining the details of clear structure by retroilluminating them.